What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So we actually got a little bit of information here in news time today, which was a bit of a surprise. We weren't really expecting this one, but we're back with another monthly newsletter from the Treasure Cruise team, which is a good thing. We always like communication from the team, and in this update, they're giving us a bit to look forward to in terms of 2025 stuff. Let's just go through it one by one, and we'll kind of just see how this kind of goes, right? So we have a letter from the OPTC team. Greetings, Nakama, and Happy New Year. Last year, One Piece Treasure Cruise celebrated its 10th anniversary. Thanks to the support for all our players. We sincerely thank everyone for the continuous support. We're also preparing a variety of content for the 11th anniversary going into 2025. So we hope you look forward to these events as you continue to enjoy OPTC. Just had to stop it there in the middle of that sentence. We're also preparing a variety of content. Now look, I don't know if you guys have been playing Treasure Cruise over the past, couple years, but the content in the game is pretty much just this. This is the content in One Piece Treasure Cruise, right? It's PKA, it's Rumble, it's TM, it's Kizuna. That's pretty much what it is. So we'll have to wait and see if that means that we've got more stuff to look forward to or different stuff to look forward to. I mean, we say this continuously, like updated GARP challenges, clashes, arenas. We love that stuff, and the fact that we don't get it anymore is so disheartening. We'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure this is just fluff text at the start of this letter here. I don't think this really has much to really say here. I really hope it does mean more moving forward, but look, let's just keep it real here. It's probably not, but we hope, right? The thing is before the anniversary of each year, usually, so the anniversary is like in May, so usually in April, we have like a big update that is like pertaining to that anniversary. So if we're going to see any major changes to the game, it would be in April at like the earliest, would be my assumption. Then again, Global Anniversary comes out in February. Potentially we get some kind of miniature update at that point. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But typically the big major updates in Treasure Cruise will arrive in April. So do keep that in mind. We're pleased to share with you some future updates for Treasure Cruise. We will also introduce some upcoming events, so please read through to the end. So let's have a look at this. This first one right here, I was really excited to read this one. Adjustment to the period for trusty characters. In Pirate King Adventures, the period in which a Sugo rare can become a trusty character will be changed to 3 months after its initial release. Last year, we made adjustments to make new characters more appealing to use. However, based on feedback from our users, we have decided to readjust, that's a weird word, readjust the period. The adjusted period will be announced through an in-game notice, so please stay tuned. So we don't know when this is coming into the game, but it is coming, and I will say this is a nice step forward. However, if we just have to break down what we have here in this text, from what we can see, it's only pertaining to PKA, which is obviously a downside. This kind of thing should be universal across the game, where the trusty list of characters in these events needs to be changed. The only one that really doesn't have that much of a problem is Kizuna Clash, because in Kizuna Clash, the characters get cooldowns depending on classes and types, and it's much more succinct. Whereas in the other game modes, we don't get that, and the trusty character is way more important for game modes like PKA, and most importantly for TM. And considering how difficult these game modes are, the trusty character lists for these modes are absolutely trash. And now they're making it so that Sugo rare characters, when they debut, they will be in these trusty character lists, at least only in PKA, for 3 months. Now, I do have a little bit of an issue with this because we don't have a lot of information, right? But this looks like, just from what we can read, it's only pertaining to Legends. So if they come out with some rare recruits, they're probably not going to be boosted. Let's hope that they are. Free-to-play units that debut in the same month as these Legends, are they going to be boosted for a longer period of time? I sincerely hope so. But judging by this text, it doesn't look to be that way. Again, this is just like some text here. We don't have all of the details yet, but judging from what we can read here, I assume there's still going to be some issues that need to be ironed out. But as I said at the start of this text, this is a good step forward. This is nice that they're actually listening to some of the feedback. This is some feedback that Stump and myself have been posting to the Bandai Discord for for months, years at this point. We want better trusty character lists for these game modes, and now they're only just getting around to putting this stuff in the game. So I am glad to see that they are making changes. We'll have to wait and see exactly to see how that gets implemented. So the next one here is the improvements to crew edit and character power up, which is, I was not expecting to see an update for this. When I saw this letter was coming out and they were talking about updates, this was not on my radar at all. But what they say here actually makes a lot of sense. So they're planning to improve the UX, the user experience, and make it easier to crew edit and power up characters, as they have become progressively more complex to manage, which is completely true. We are striving to create a more user-friendly environment for all Treasure Cruise players. Furthermore, we're planning updates for new Treasure Cruise players. Interesting, I actually completely overlooked that the first time I read this letter. More details will be provided in an upcoming letter from the OPTC team. So, I mean, looking, pull over to the game real quick over here. So if we go over to like the power up screen, like obviously they're talking about the crew menu as well, but if you go to the power up screen and then you click on power up, you're just flooded with a bunch of information, and like this is super overwhelming, especially if you're a new player or a returning player. Coming back and seeing all of these menu options is a little too crazy. Now, we always go back to this because Dokkan does it the best. Dokkan's power-up functions are amazing. They work really well, they do it super efficiently, and I think that if they went down the route of that way, where you could like press one button, it automatically puts everything on it for you. Like you want to do max special level, max support, you know, max cotton candy, max potential abilities. I mean, that's a little bit more difficult because potential abilities aren't guaranteed level ups, but if you could just feed like 5 tablets at a time and it automatically does it for you, that would be pretty dope. Even for like Rumble is so annoying to level up with, like, you know, you have to get the right amount of scrolls, and then like sometimes you have leftover EXP, and then you got to make sure you click the right amount of scrolls so you don't overlap too much EXP. But if there was like a button that just said, hey, it just does everything at once, that would make the leveling up, power up experience so much easier. So I hope they go down that route, and if it does end up being like that, I'm all for it. That's going to be awesome. And they also did mention very briefly that the crew edit function is going to be changed. Now, in my personal opinion, as a player who's been playing the game since the game has come out, I think the way that the current crew setup screen is not that bad. I don't think it really needs much of a change, but they apparently think that it needs some kind of change. Again, I'm not really too sure what they mean by this. If you have any thoughts and opinions about ways they can update the crew function, let me know. But personally speaking, I don't think this has that big of a deal. I think this one is relatively okay. But then also, at the end of that, they also did mention that they're also going to be planning updates for new Treasure Cruise players, which is a good thing because the new player experience is one of the most vital things in these types of games. You want to hook these new players into the game, and currently as it stands, the game is way too difficult. It's way too complex, and it kind of drives people away. So we'll have to wait and see what they have in store for that. But 2 pretty good updates, I think. There is another screen here with some more information about user feedback specifically. So they say, we are planning further improvements based on the feedback received from players through last year's survey. So last year's survey, they're only just going through it, or they're planning improvements based on the survey. We'll officially introduce them through future letters from the OPTC team and in-game notices once they're confirmed and ready to be implemented. So that's already a good piece of information, because a lot of the times they have done these surveys in the past, but when has anything from these surveys actually come into the game? Like, to be honest, not a lot of that user feedback stuff that we've done over the past few years has really meant anything. At least from our perspective, it really feels like nothing has happened. But the fact that they're directly responding to the fact that, hey, we know you gave us a bunch of feedback, we're going through it, when stuff is ready to go, we're going to show you guys. I love that they're doing that, and it just shows that, hey, we're listening. I mean, especially with the last 2 update functions that they just mentioned, they have been listening. Yes, it's not perfect, and we don't know all the details yet, but the fact that they're letting us know is a good thing. We've received many feedback and some suggestions for improvements. We will be challenging and may require lots of time to implement. That is definitely true. Nevertheless, we are committed to meeting all players' expectations and will give careful consideration regarding your suggestions. And that's pretty much all that they have. And of course, the final thing is just giving us a bit of rundown in terms of the game modes, the event schedule for January. So we'll have to wait and see what comes out for these new updates. As I said, I'm assuming all of this stuff is going to come out in April, so we'll have to wait quite a while before these changes are made. The thing is, though, is that the trusty character boosted list, that's something that you can implement in like 2 seconds. Like, that's really not that big of a problem. I don't really get why not only just this new functionality for the boosted list that they mentioned, but just making boosted lists better in general. It's not that hard to do, really. It's literally like database stuff. Like, it's very, very easy, just making like toggling switches. It's not that really that big of a deal. So we'll have to wait and see, of course, what they have planned. But in terms of the rest of this month, PKA, of course, is out, and we do have that SNS thing going on right now. This thing right here. I don't know when this actually ends. It says it right here, the 8th. Okay, so it ends tomorrow. So basically do as many runs as you can on PKA throughout this event period, and we could potentially get another 25 gems. I will say this New Year's celebration has been really good, really generous in terms of the amount of rainbow gems that we have been receiving. So that's been a massive positive, I will say, this year. So yeah, good stuff there. And then of course we have Super Pirate Rumble, which is starting soon. The TM, of course, which is going to be coming out on the 15th. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know what the batch is going to be yet. I have a theory that the batch for this TM is going to be Whitebeard Pirate Commanders to help support Whitebeard and Ace. That's my assumption, and it would go in hand with the fact that the character, you know, the free-to-play character that's super evolving is a Sakazuki. So maybe we'll get like a new Mako. Maybe we'll get Vista and Jozu. We'll have to wait and see. And then Kizuna Clash, which is going to be a Super Boss Kizuna Clash. It's going to be interesting to see how this one goes on with the New Year's characters implemented in this one. And that ends on the 26th. So we can assume that the new batch will be on the 26th or the 27th would be my guess. So that is going to wrap it up for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about all this stuff down below in the comment section. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, though, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.